Oh, nice to see you. I missed you too. I have missed you guys. We've seen you, but it's still good to see you. How you been? How are you?
Engineering students may learn the fundamentals of mechanics or how to code, but they don't always think about who they're designing things for. So at Olin College of Engineering, a team of professors designed a class called Engineering for Humanity, in which teams of 3 to 4 students work closely with an older adult, and throughout the semester, the students learn how people's abilities may change as they age. By the end of the semester, the students create and hand off a product that helps their partner in a meaningful way.
We've really tried to think about how can you integrate the anthropology and engineering, because we want students to understand that you can't do great engineering without understanding the context that you're doing the engineering. She and I have presented about things early on, which we call the empathy exercises workshop. We partner the students with the community partners, and both parties experience some of the physical changes that might accompany aging, like changes in dexterity and sensitivity, vision loss, hearing loss, mobility challenges. And that is an important class, and we put it early in the semester because it helps people to reframe their own experiences and not assume that they understand what other people's experiences are like. In particular, the past few years, we've worked with a town, Natick. People at the Councils on Aging put out an advertisement in their newsletter.
It was a little article in the newspaper.
So I said, man, I'm looking for something to do. I think I'll volunteer. So I called to volunteer. He said, well, you're not handicapped or any problems, have you? Or whatever. I said, no, but my wife is blind. So, oh, maybe we could use your wife. And my wife had said, you interview, you do what you want, I don't want to have nothing to do with it. So I says, hey, Clarice, guess what? They need you, not me. And that's how it happened.
We were averaging, it was like a good visit a week.
Yeah, we'd go over at dinner time and Clarice would say, oh, you're just in time.
We were the ones to set the table. We all got our designated roles in terms of what to do, like, okay, toss the towel down the stairs, that's where how we're gonna do laundry. And then, okay, set the table, the plates are down below, and they're really heavy, so be careful not to drop them or anything. Through that, we learned more about how their house worked, how, like, all the behaviors they would need to do to move around the house. Yeah. And I think we learned a lot from that.
Great engineering, by definition, is contextually situated. And the context for this class is about what it means to be an older adult in the United States. What are the economic and social and political issues around those experiences, but also the everyday, like, architecture and environment and space, the things around you and the people around you and the meanings you make of that. That's all relevant to the particular project students do.
Especially at the beginning of the semester, students spend a lot of time with their partner to understand their values and how they live their day-to-day life. Celine, Hallie, and Myra quickly realized that Larice loved cooking, but her vision made it difficult.
Because it was like, well, walk through the steps of cutting this lemon with me, or like, okay, so you do this, and then you grab the knife, and then you hold it over, and just stepping through each thing. We were both like learning about, their heritage and bonding and eating great food, and also getting some useful design information sort of snuck in at the same time.
Yeah.
Design is never done in isolation. Students are constantly in touch with their partners, and the class holds multiple design reviews throughout the semester. Older adults, even those not currently working with the teams, are invited to the design reviews to give feedback to the students. And halfway through the semester, the students send a pilot of their product home with their partner.
So the pilot, the one that goes home with her, has got to kind of work. She's got to be able to take it to the grocery store, load it up, unload it. Maybe not well, but not at all. That would be, can you imagine then handing her something that hasn't been tested that way? Yeah. That's the point of the pilot. The concept of play, prototype, pilot, produce is something that I've been using for a bunch of years, starting in my work in industry. Play is building to learn, just learning about the problem. Prototype is building to think through how I might build it, how I might solve it, and then pilot is build to test.
So we brought these to start, and I think within the first minute, they were all vetoed as not functional. Oh yeah. In hindsight, this was a very confusing cutting board. But this is also how we ended up finding out more about how her vision worked.
I am legally blind. which means that you still have some vision. It's very individual. Each person has vision in a different way. I have no central vision. I do have peripheral vision, but not having central vision makes things very difficult. Okay, this is my cutting board, and you can see the lines down here that the girls put in. And if I put my tomato up to it, I can tell where I'm slicing, because because of the contrast of the black against the beige, or whatever you want to call it, I can see that real well. I'll put my here, and then I can just slice.
The semester culminates with the students presenting their partners with a completed product that they can use in their day-to-day life. But engineering for humanity is more than just the final product. It's about all the interactions and connections made throughout the class.
We try to get people to think about what's the ethical obligation of engineers and what are our obligations as people who are interacting with others to understand them for who they are and not who we imagine they are.
Engineering for Humanity helped me realize that a really important part of any work that I wanted to do and wanted to do for the rest of my life, I needed to be interacting with the people whom I was trying to impact, and that the reason behind the work and the people behind the work was very important to my satisfaction. Little technical puzzles, like, they're great, but they really couldn't get me as passionate as something where I felt like these are people and this is someone's life and this is what we're working towards.
The team that they put with us was a great team, and we just enjoyed the whole process.
Remember how we made goals at the beginning of E4H? And we were like, oh, we're going to evaluate these at the end. One of mine was to have a relationship that extended beyond the end of the project, so check.